beg. Here comes a man of comfort whose advice hath often stilled my brawling discontent.
Thank you, Friar.
I cry you mercy, sir, and well could wish you had not found me here so musical. Let me excuse me and believe me so. My mirth it much displeased, but pleased my woe.
'Tis good, though music oft hath such a charm to make bad good, and good provoke to harm. I pray you, tell me, hath anybody inquired for me here today?
You have not been inquired after. I've sat here all day.
Welcome! What is the news from this good deputy?
He hath a garden surcumbered with brick, whose western side is with a vineyard backed, and to that vineyard is a planched gate, which makes his opening with this bigger key. This other doth command a little door, which from the vineyard to the garden leads. There have I made my promise, upon the heavy middle of the night, to call upon him.
But shall you on your knowledge find this way?
Oh, he did show me the way twice o'er.
Are there no other tokens between you agreed concerning her observance?
No, none. Only a repair in the dark. And that I have possessed him my most stay can be but brief, for I have made him know I have a servant comes with me along.
Oh, 'tis well borne of. I have not yet made known a word of this to Mariana. Come forth! I pray you be acquainted with this maid. She comes to do you good.
I do desire the like.
Take then this your companion by the hand, who hath a story ready for your ear. I shall attend your leisure. But make haste! The vaporous night approaches.
Wilt thou walk aside? Oh,
She'll take the enterprise upon her, father, if you advise it.
It is not my consent, but my entreaty too.
Little have you to say when you depart from him, but soft and low. Remember now, my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you not at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract to bring you thus together. 'Tis no sin. Sith that the justice of your title to him doth flourish the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, while yet our tilths to sow.
Come hither, Sirrah. Can you cut off a man's head?
If the man be a bachelor, I can, sir. But if he be a married man, then he's his wife's head, and I could never cut off a woman's head.
Come, sir, leave me your snatches and yield me a direct answer. Tomorrow are to die Claudio and Barnardine. Here is in our prison a common executioner who in his office lacks a helper. If you take it on you to assist him, it shall redeem you from your gyves. If not, you shall have your full time of imprisonment and your deliverance with an unpitied whipping. For you have been a notorious bawd.
Sir, I have been an unlawful bawd time out of mind, and yet I would be content to be a lawful hangman. I would be glad to receive some instruction from my fellow partner.
What? Ho! A poor son! Where's a poor son there?
You call, sir?
Sirrah, Here's a fellow who will help you tomorrow in your execution. He cannot plead his estimation with you. He hath been a bawd.
A bawd, sir? I'll fie on him. He will discredit our mystery.
You see it out. Provide your block and your axe tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Oh. Come along, bawd. I will instruct thee in my trade. Follow.
Call hither Barnardine and Claudio. The one has my pity, not a jot for the other, being a murderer, though he were my brother. Look, here's the warrant, Claudio, for thy death. 'Tis now dead midnight. By 4 tomorrow thou must be made mortal. Where's Barnardine?
As fast locked up in sleep as guiltless labor. He will not wake.
Who can do good on him? Well, go prepare yourself. But hark, what noise? Heaven give your spirits comfort. By and by. I hope it is some part in a reprieve for the most gentle Claudio. Welcome, Father. What comfort is for Claudio?
There's some in hope.
It is a bitter deputy.
Not so, not so. His life is paralleled even with the stroke and line of his great justice. He doth with holy abstinence subdue that in himself which he spurs on his power to qualify in others. Were he mealed with that which he corrects, then were he tyrannous. But this being so, he's just. Now are they come. This is a gentle provost, seldom when the steel jailer is the friend of men.
This is his lordship's man.
And here comes Claudio's pardon.
My lord hath sent you this note, and by me this further charge. You swerve not from the smallest article of it, neither in time, matter, nor other circumstance. Good morrow. For as I take it, it is almost day.
I shall obey him.
This is his pardon, purchased by such sin for which the punisher himself is in. Now, sir, what news? Pray you, let's hear.
Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 of the clock, and in the afternoon Barnardine. For my further satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent me by 5. Let this be duly performed with a thought that more depends on it than we must yet deliver. Thus, fail not to do your office, for you will answer it at your peril. What say you to this, sir?
What is this Barnardine who is to be executed in the afternoon?
A Bohemian born, one that is a prisoner 9 years old.
How came it that the absent duke has not either delivered him to his liberty or executed him? Hath he borne himself penitently in the prison? How seems he to be touched?
A man that regards death no more dreadfully, but as a drunken sleep, reckless, careless, and fearless of what's past, present, or to come, insensible of mortality, and desperately mortal.
He wants advice.
He will hear none. He hath evermore had the liberty of the prison. Give him leave to escape hence? He would not. Drunk many times a day, in fact, many days, entirely drunk. We have very often awakened him as if to carry him to execution, and shown him a seeming warrant for it. It hath not moved him at all.
More of him anon. There is written in your brow, Provost, honesty and constancy. If I read it not truly, my ancient skill beguiles me. But in the boldness of my cunning, I will lay myself in hazard. Claudio, whom here you have warrant to execute, is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo, who hath sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifested effect, I crave but 2 days' respite, for the which you are to do me both a present and a dangerous courtesy.
Pray, sir, in what?
In the delaying death.
But how may I do it? Having the hour limited, and an express command under penalty to deliver his head in the view of Angelo.
By the veil of mine order, I'll warrant you, with my instructions may be your guide, let this Barnardine be this morning executed, and his head borne to Angelo.
Angelo has seen them both, and will discover the favor.
Oh, death's a great disguiser, and you may add to it. Let the head be shaved and the beard tied, and say it was the desire of the penitent to be so born before his death. If anything fall to you upon this more than thanks and good fortune, I will plead against it with my life.
Pardon me, good father. It is against my oath.
Were you sworn to the Duke or to the deputy?
To him, and to his substitutes.
You will think you have made no offense if the Duke avouch the justice of your dealings.
What likelihood is in that?
Not a resemblance, but a certainty. Yet since I see you are still fearful, that neither my coat integrity nor persuadings can with ease attempt you, I will go further than I meant to pluck all fears out of you. Look you, sir, here is the hand and seal of the Duke. You know the character, I doubt not, and a signet is not strange to you.
I know them both.
The content of this is the return of the Duke, where you shall find within these 2 days he will be here. This is a thing that Angelo knows not. Put not yourself into amazement how these things should be. All difficulties are but easy when they are known. Call your executioner, and off with Barnardine's head. I will give him a present shrift and advise him to a better place. Yet you are amazed, but this will absolutely resolve you. It is almost clear day.
What? Ho! A whoreson! Bring Barnardine hither!
Sarah! Bring Barnardine hither!
Master Barnardine, you must rise and be hanged. Master Barnardine.
A pox on your throats! Who makes that noise there? What are you?
Your friend, sir, the hangman. Please be so good, sir, as to rise and be put to death.
Away, you rogues! Away! I am sleepy.
Tell him he must awake, and that quickly, too.
Pray, Master Barnardine, await till you're executed and sleep afterwards.
Go into him and fetch him out!
He's coming, sir. He's coming. I hear a straw rustle.
How now, Abhorson? What's the news with you?
Truly, sir, I desire you to clap into your prayer. For look you, the warrant's come.
You rogue! I've been drinking all night. I'm not fitted for it.
Oh, the better, sir, for he that drinks all night and is hanged betimes in the morning will sleep the sounder all the next day.
Look you, sir. Here is your ghostly father. Do you think we jest now?
Sir, bound by my charity, and hearing how hastily you are to depart, I am come to advise you, comfort you, and pray with you.
Friar, not I. I have been drinking hard all night and will have more time to prepare me, or they'll beat out my brains with billets. I will not consent to die this day. That is certain.
Oh, sir, you must, and therefore I beseech you, look forward on the journey that you shall go.
I swear I will not consent to die this day for any man's persuasion.
But hear you.
Be not a word. If you have words to say to me, come to my ward, for thence will not I today. Now!
Thou unfit to live or die, a gravel heart. After him, fellows, to the block with him.
Now, sir, how do you find the prisoner?
A creature unprepared, unmeet for death, and to transport him in the mind he is were damnable.
Here in the prison, Father, there died this morning of a cruel fever one Ragazine, a notorious pirate. A man of Claudio's years, his beard and head just of his color. What if we do omit this reprobate, if he were well inclined, and satisfy the deputy with a visage of Ragazine more like to Claudio?
Oh, 'tis an accident that heaven provides. Dispatch it presently. The hour draws on, prefixed by Angelo. See this be done and sent according to command, whiles I persuade this rude wretch willingly to die.
This shall be done presently, good father, but Barnardine must die this afternoon. And how shall we continue Claudio to save me from the danger that might come if he were known alive?
Let this be done. Put them in secret holds, both Barnardine and Claudio. Ere twice the sun hath made his journal greeting to yonder generation, your safety will be manifested.
I am your free dependent.
Go, dispatch and send ahead to Angelo. Now will I write letters to Angelo, the provost. He will bear them, whose contents shall witness to him that I am near at home, and that by great injunction I am bound to enter publicly. Him will desire meet me at the consecrated fount, a league below the city. And from thence, by cold gradation and well-balanced form, we shall proceed with Angelo.
Vito, be here?
The tongue of Isabel. She's come to know if yet her brother's pardon be come hither. But I will keep her ignorant of her good, to make her heavenly comforts of despair when it is least expected.
Here's the head. I'll carry it myself.
Make a swift return, for I would commune with you of such things that want no ears but yours.
I'll make all speed.
Oh, by your leave.
Good morrow to you, fair and gracious daughter.
The better given me by so holy a man. Hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from the world. His head is often sent to Angelo.
Nay, but it isn't so.
It is no other. Show your wisdom, my daughter, in your close patience.
I will to him and pluck out his eyes. Unhappy Claudio. Wretched Isabel. Injurious world. Most damned Angelo.
This nor hurts him, nor profits you a jot. Forbear it, therefore. Give your cause to heaven. Mark what I say, which you shall find by every syllable of faithful verity. The Duke comes home tomorrow. Nay, dry your eyes. Already he hath carried notice to Aeschylus and Angelo, who do prepare to meet him at the gates, there to give up their power. If you can, pace your wisdom in that good path that I would wish it go, and you shall have your bosom on this wretch. Grace of the Duke, revenges to your heart, and general honor.
I'm directed by you.
This letter, then, to Friar Peter give. I desire his company at Mariana's house tonight. Her cause and yours I'll perfect him withal, and he shall bear you before the Duke. For my poor self, I am combined by a sacred vow, and shall be absent. Wend you with this letter. Command these spreading waters from your eyes with a light heart. Trust not my sacred order if I pervert your course. Who's there?
Good evening. Friar, where's the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabella, I am pale at mine heart to see thine eyes so red. By my troth, Isabella, I loved thy brother. The old fantastical Duke of Dark Corners had been at home. He had lived.
Oh,
Sir, the Duke is marvelous little beholden to your reports, but the best is he lives not in them.
Friar, thou knowest not the Duke so well as I do. He's a better woodman than thou takest him.
Well, you'll answer this one day, fare ye well.
Nay, tarry, I'll go along with thee. I can tell thee pretty tales of the Duke.
You have told me too many already, sir, if they be true. If not true, none were enough.
I was once before him for getting a wench with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, marry did I, but I was fain to forswear it, else they would have married me to the rotten medlar.
Sir, your company is fairer than it is honest. Rest ye well.
Hell, by my troth, I'll go with thee to the lane's end. If bawdy talk offend thee, we'll have very little of it. Nay, friar, I am a kind of burr. I shall stick.
Why should we meet him at the gates and re-deliver our authorities there?
I guess not.
And why should we proclaim it in an hour before his arrival that if any crave redress of injustice, they should exhibit their petitions in the street?
I shows his reason for that, to have a dispatch of complaints and to deliver us from devices hereafter that shall then have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech you, let it be proclaimed.
I shall. Fare you well, sir.
This deed unshapes me quite, makes me unpregnant and dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that enforced the law against it, but that her tender shame will not proclaim against her maiden loss. How might she tongue me? Yet reason dares her no, for my authority bears so credent bulk that no particular scandal once can touch it, but it confounds the breather. He should have lived, save his riotous youth with dangerous sense might in the times to come have taken revenge by so receiving a dishonored life with ransom of such shame. Would that he had lived. Alack! When once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right. We would, and we would not.
Brown, big bread.
Red wine!
Bread.
Get some red wine here!
Good day, good day. To speak so indirectly, I am loath. I would speak the truth. But to accuse him so, that is your part. Yet I am advised to do what he says to full purpose.
Be ruled by him.
Besides, he tells me that if peradventure he should speak against me on the adverse side, I should not think it strange, for 'tis a physic that's bitter to sweet end.
Friar Peter!
Well, come, I have found you a stand most fit, where you shall have such vantage of the Duke he cannot pass. But the Duke is entering, therefore hence away.
Oh, is he? You see him?
That's there.
Where is he?
He's up there.
My very worthy cousin, foully met. Our old and faithful friend, we are glad to see you.
Happy return be to your royal grace.
Oh, many and hearty thankings to you both. We have made enquiry of you. And we hear such goodness of your justice that our soul cannot but yield you forth to public thanks.
You make my bond still greater.
Give we our hand, and let the subjects see, to make them know that outward courtesies would fain proclaim favors that keep within. Come, Aeschylus, you must walk by us on our other hand.
Come, now is your chance. Kneel down and speak loudly.
Justice, O royal duke! Dishonor not your eye by throwing it on any other object until you've heard me in my true complaint and given me justice. Justice, justice, justice! Justice!
Relate! You're wrong. In what? By whom? Be brief. Here is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Reveal yourself to him.
O worthy duke, you bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear me yourself. For that which I must speak must either punish me, not being believed, or wring redress from you. Hear me, oh, hear me, hear!
My lord, her wits, I fear me, are not firm. She has been suitor to me, or her brother, cut off by course of justice.
By course of justice?
And she will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, but yet most truly shall I speak. That Angelo's forsworn, is it not strange? Yes. That Angelo's a murderer, is it not strange? Yes. That Angelo's an adulterous thief, a hypocrite, a virgin violator, is it not strange and strange?
Nay! It is 10 times strange.
It is not truer he is Angelo, then this is all as true as it is strange. Nay, it is 10 times true, for truth is truth to the end of reckoning.
Truth is truth! Away with her, poor soul! She speaks this in the infirmity of sense.
Oh, Prince, I conjure thee, as thou believest there's another comfort than this world, that thou neglect me not with that opinion that I'm touched with madness. Make not impossible that which but seems unlike, but one. The wickedest caitiff on the ground may seem as shy, as grave, as just, as absolute as Angelo. Oh. Even so may Angelo, in all his dressings, characters, titles, and forms, be an arch villain. Believe it, royal prince. If he be less, he's nothing, but he's more, had I more name for badness.
By mine honesty, if she be mad, as I believe no other, her madness hath the oddest frame of sense. Such a dependency of thing on thing as e'er I heard in madness.
Oh, gracious Duke, harp not on that, nor do not banish reason for inequality, but let your reason serve to make the truth appear where it seems hid, and hide the false seems true. Yes.
Many that are not mad have sure more lack of reason. What would you say?
I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of a sisterhood, was sent to by my brother, one Lucio.
That's I.
You were not bid to speak.
No, my good lord, nor wish to hold my peace.
We wish you now, then, pray you take note of it, and when you have a business for yourself, Pray heaven you then be perfect.
I warrant, Your Honor.
The warrant's for you! Take heed to it!
I went to this pernicious caitiff deputy. How I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled. The vile conclusion I now begin with grief and shame to utter. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body, to his concupiscible intemperate lust, release my poor brother.
That's it, children. Let's go. This is not for your ears. Come on. Hurry. Let's go.
And after much debatement, my sisterly remorse confutes mine honor. And I did yield to him. But the next morn betimes, his purpose surfeiting, he sends a warrant for my poor brother's head.
Injustice!
This is most likely.
Oh, that it were as like as it is true.
By heaven, fond wretch, thou knowest not what thou speakest, or else thou art suborned against his honor in hateful practice. First, his integrity stands without blemish. Next, it imports no reason that with such vehemency he should pursue faults proper to himself. Had he so offended, he would have weighed thy brother by himself, and not have cut him off. Someone hath set you on. Confess the truth, and say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? And oh, you blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripening time unfold the evil which is here wrapped up in countenance. Heaven shield your grace from woe, as I, thus wronged, hence unbelieved go.
I know you'd fain be going. An officer to prison with her. Shall we thus permit a blasting and a scandalous breath to fall on him so near us?
No!
Who knew of your intent and coming hither?
One that I would were here, Friar Lodowick.
Who knows that Lodowick?
My lord, I know him. 'Tis a meddling friar. I do not like the man. Had he been lay, my lord, for certain words he spake against your grace in your retirement, I had swinged him soundly.
Words against me? And to set on this wretched woman here against our substitute? Oh, let that friar be found!
But yesternight, my lord, she and that friar, I saw them at the prison. A saucy friar, a very scurvy fellow.
Blessed be your royal grace. I have stood by, my lord, and heard your royal ear abused. First, hath this woman most unjustly accused your substitute, who is as free from touch and soil with her as she from one ungot.
We did believe no less. Know you that Friar Lodowick that she speaks of?
I know him for a man divine and holy, not scurvy nor a temporary meddler as reported by this gentleman, and on my trust a man who never yet did, as he vouches, misreport your grace.
My lord, most villainously believe it.
In time he may come to clear himself, but at this instant he is sick, my lord, with a strange fever. Upon his mere request, becoming of knowledge that there was complaint against Lord Angelo, came I hither to speak with his voice. First, for this woman, to justify this worthy nobleman so vulgarly and personally accused. Her shall you hear disproved to her eyes till she herself confess it.
Do you not smile at this, Lord Angelo? Oh, heaven the vanity of wretched fools! Give us some seats. Come, Cousin Angelo. In this, I'll be impartial. Be you judge in your own cause. Is this the witness, Friar? First, let her show her face, and after speak.
Pardon, my lord, I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What, are you married?
No, my lord.
Are you a maid?
No, my lord.
A widow, then?
Neither, my lord.
Why, then you are nothing. Neither maid, widow, nor wife.
Well, she may be a punk, my lord, for many of them are neither maid, widow, nor wife.
Silence that fellow! I would he had some cause to prattle for himself.
Well, my
My lord, I do confess I ne'er was married, and I confess beside I am no maid. I have known my husband, and yet my husband knows not that ever he knew me.
He was drunk then, my lord, it can be no better.
For the benefit of silence, I would thou wert so too.
Well, my lord.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
Now I come to it, my lord. She that accuses him of fornication in self-same manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, at such a time when I'll depose I had him in my arms with all the effects of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No. You say your husband.
Just, my lord, and that is Angelo. Who thinks he knows that he ne'er knew my body, but knows he thinks that he knew Isabel's.
This is strange news. Let's see thy face.
My husband bids me. Now I will unmask. This is the face, thou cruel Angelo, which once thou swore was worth the looking on. This is the hand which with a vowed contract was fast belocked in thine. This is the body that took away the match from Isabel and did supply thee in thy garden house in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
Carmelite, he says.
Sarah, no more!
Enough, my lord.
My lord, I must confess, I know this woman, and 5 years since there was some speech of marriage betwixt myself and her, which was broke off. And since which time of 5 years, I've never heard from her, seen her, nor spake with her. Upon my faith and honor.
Noble prince, as there comes light from heaven and words from breath, as there is sense in truth and truth in virtue, I am affianced, this man's wife, as strongly as words can make up vows. And, good my lord, but Tuesday night last gone, in his garden house, he knew me as a wife. As this is true, let me in safety raise me from my knees, or else forever be confixed here, a marble monument.
Smile, still, now. Good my lord, give me the scope of justice. Oh, my patience here is touched. I do perceive these poor informal women are no more but instruments of some more mightier member that doth set them on. Let me have way, my lord, to find this practice out.
It's fine. Die by my honor, and punish them unto your height of pleasure, thou foolish friar, and thou pernicious woman. Compact with her who's gone? Thinkest thou that thy oaths, though they would swear down each particular saint, is testimony against his worth and credit that's sealed in approbation? You, Lord Aeschylus, lend my cousin your kind pains to find out this abuse, whence 'tis derived. There is another friar that set them on. Let him be sent for.
Yes. Would that he were here, my lord, for he indeed has sent the women on to this complaint. Your provost knows where he abides, and he may fetch him.
Go, do it instantly. And you, my noble and well-warranted cousin, whom it concerns to hear this matter forth, do with your injuries as seems you best in any chastisement. I for a while shall leave you. But stir not you until you have well depended upon these slanderers.
My lord will do it thoroughly. Signor Lucio, did not you say you knew that Philodoic to be a dishonest person?
Cuculus non fecit monachum. Honest in nothing but his clothes, and one who hath spoke most villainous speeches of the Duke.
We shall entreat you to abide here until he come and enforce them against him. We shall find this friar a notable fellow.
As any in Vienna, on my word.
Oh, that same Isabella here once more, I would question her. I pray, my lord, give me leave to question. You shall see how I handle her.
Not better than he, by her own report, pray you. I am married, sir. I think if you handled her privately, she would sooner confess. Perchance publicly she'll be ashamed.
Come on now, mistress. Here is a gentleman denies all you have said.
Here comes the rascal I spoke of, here with the provost.
In very good time. Look, you speak not to him till we call upon you.
Marvel.
Come, sir. Did you set these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They have confessed that you did.
'Tis false.
Know you where you are?
Respect to your great place, and let the devil sometimes have his due for his burning throne. Where is the Duke? 'Tis he should hear me speak.
The Duke's in us, and we will hear you speak. Look, you speak justly.
Boldly at least. But oh, poor souls, come you to seek the lamb here of the fox? Oh, then good night to your redress. Is the Duke gone? Then is your cause gone too. The Duke's unjust thus to retort your manifest appeal and to put your trial in the villain's mouth, which here you come to accuse.
Slander! This is he. This is the one I spoke of.
Oh, thou unreverend and unhallowed friar, is not enough. Thou hast suborned these women to accuse this worthy man, but in foul mouth and in the witness of his proper ear to call him villain. Then to glance to the Duke himself, to tax him with injustice! Take him from hence to the rack with him! Limb from limb, the King will know his purpose!
Be not so hot. The Duke dare no more stretch this finger of mine than he dare rack his own. His subject am I not, nor here provincial. My business in this state made me a looker-on here in Vienna, where I have seen corruption boil and bubble till it o'errun the stew. Laws for all faults, but faults so countenanced that the strict statutes stand like the forfeits in a barber's shop, as much in mock as mark.
Surrender to the state! Away with him to prison!
What can you vouch against him, Signor Lucio? Is this the man you did tell us of?
Oh, you see, my lord. Come hither, Goodman Baldpate. Do you know me?
I know you, sir, by the sound of your voice. I met you in the prison in the absence of the Duke.
Oh, did you so, sir? And do you remember what you said of the Duke?
Most notedly, sir.
And do you, sir? And was the Duke a fleshmonger? A fool? And a coward, as you then reported him to be?
You must, sir, change persons with me ere you make that my report. You indeed spoke so of the Duke, and much more, much worse.
Liar! Thou damnable fellow! Did I not pluck thee by the nose for thy speeches?
I protest that I love the Duke as I love myself.
Hark how the villain would close after his treasonable abuse.
Such a fellow is not to be talked with all. Away with him to prison. Where's the fellow? Away with him to prison! Lay bolts enough upon him. Let him speak no more. And away with these giglets too. With the other Confederate companion.
Resists he? Help him, Signor Lucio.
Come, sir, come, sir, come, sir. Fool, sir. Why, you lying, bald-pated rascal? You must be hooded, must you? You coward! Show your knave's visage with a pox on you. Show your sheep-biting face and hang an hour. Wilt not? Oh!
Thou art the first knave that ever made a duke. First, Provost, let me bail these gentle three. Sneak not away, sir, for the friar and you must have a word anon. Lay hold on him.
This may prove worse than hanging.
What you have spoken, I forgive. Sit you down. We'll borrow place of him. Sir, by your leave, hast thou or word or wit or impudence that yet can do thee good? If thou hast, rely on it till my tale be done, and hold no longer out.
My dread lord, I would be guiltier than my guiltiness if I think I can remain undiscernible when I see that your grace, like power divine, hath looked down upon my passions. Then, good my lord, no longer session hold upon my shame, but let my confession be my own trial. Immediate sentence, then, and sequent death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Mariana. Say, was thou ever contracted to this woman?
I was, my lord.
Go, take her hence and marry her instantly. Do you the office, friar, which consummate return him here again. Go with them, provost.
We have a wedding. My lord, I am more amazed at his dishonor than at the strangeness of it.
Come hither, Isabel. Your friar is now your duke.
Oh, give me pardon that I, your vassal, have employed and pained your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, Isabel. And now, dear maid, be you as free with us. Your brother's death, I know, sits at your heart. And you may marvel why I obscured myself laboring to save his life, and would not rather make rash remonstrance of my hidden power than let him so be lost.
Do, my lord.
For this new married man approaching here, whose salt imagination hath yet wronged your well-defended honor, you must pardon for Mariana's sake. But as he had judged your brother, being criminal in double violation of sacred chastity and promise breach, thereon dependent for thy brother's life, we do judge him. The very tongue of the law cries out, most audible even from his proper tongue, "An Angelo for Claudio! Death for death!" Haste yet pays haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Then, Angelo, thy faults thus manifested, which though thou wouldst deny, denies thee vantage. we do condemn thee to the very block where Claudio stooped to death, and with like haste. Away with him!
No. Oh, good my lord, I hope you will not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband mocked you with a husband. Consenting to the safeguard of your honor, I thought your marriage fit, else imputation for that he knew you might reproach your life and choke your good to come. For his possessions, although by us they are confiscate, we do in state and widow you with all, to buy you a better husband.
Good my lord, I crave no other nor no better man.
Never crave him. We are definitive.
Gracious my liege.
You do but lose your labor. Away with him to death! Now, sir, to you.
Oh, my dear lord. Oh, Isabel, will you not lend a knee? Lend me your knee, and all my life to come I'll lend you all my life to do you service.
Against all sense, you do importune her. Should she kneel down in mercy of this fact, her brother's ghost his paved bed would break and take her hence in horror.
Oh, Isabel, sweet Isabel, do yet but kneel by me. Hold up your hands, say nothing, I'll speak all. They say best men are molded out of fault, and for the most are so much more the better for being a little bad. So may my husband. Oh, Isabel, will you not lend a knee?
He dies for Claudio's death.
Most bounteous sir, look, if it please you, on this man condemned, as if my brother lived. I partly think a due sincerity governed his deeds, till he did look on me. Since it is so, let him not die. My brother had but justice, in that he did the thing for which he died. For Angelo, his act did not o'ertake his bad intent, and must be buried as an intent that perished by the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents but merely thoughts.
Merely, my lord.
Your suit's unprofitable. Stand up, I say. I have bethought me of another fault. How came it that Claudio was beheaded at an unusual hour? Had you a special warrant for the deed?
No, my good lord, it was by private message. I thought it was a fault, but knew it not, yet did repent me after more advice. One in the prison that should by private order else have died, I have reserved alive.
What's he?
His name is Barnardine.
Go, bring him hither, let me look upon him.
I am sorry. One so learned and so wise as you, Lord Angelo, have yet appeared, should have slipped so grossly, both in the heat of blood and in the lack of tempered judgment afterward.
I'm sorry that such sorrow I procure. And so deep sticks it in my penitent heart that I crave death more willingly than mercy.
Oh, no.
'Tis my deserving, and I do entreat it.
Which is that Barnardine?
This, my lord.
There was a friar told me of this man. Sarah, thou art said to have a soul that apprehends no further than this world, and squarest thy life accordingly. Thou art condemned. But for your earthly faults we quit them all, and pray thee take this mercy to provide for better times to come. Advise him, friar. I leave him in your hands. What hooded fellow's that?
This is another prisoner that I saved, who should have died when Claudio lost his head. Is like almost to Claudio as himself.
Oh, goodness. If he be like your brother, For his sake, he is pardoned. And for your lovely sake, give me... Give me your hand and say you will be mine. He is my brother too. But fitter time for that. By this, Lord Angelo perceives he's safe. Methinks I see a quickening in his eye. Well, Angelo, your evil quits you well. Look you, love your wife, her worth's yours. I find an apt remission in myself. Yet there's one here we cannot pardon. You, sir, who knew me as a fool, a coward, one all of luxury, and us, a madman. Wherein have I so deserved of you that you extol me thus?
In faith, my lord, I spoke it but according to the trick. If you will hang me for it, you may. But I would rather it would please you, I might be whipped.
Whipped first, sir, and hanged after. Proclaim it, provost, round about the city. If there be any woman wronged by this lewd fellow, as we have heard him swear himself there's one whom he begot with child, let her appear, and he shall marry her. The nuptial finished, let him then be whipped and hanged.
Let me see, your highness. Do not marry me to a whore. Your highness said even now I made you a duke. Good my lord, do not recompense me by making me a cuckold.
Upon mine honor, thou shalt marry her. Your slanders I forgive, and therewithal remit thy other forfeits. Bring him to the heavens, bring him to the prison, and see my pleasure therein executed.
Marrying a punk, my lord, is pressing to death, whipping and hanging.
Slandering a prince deserves it.
Would have another wedding.
She, Claudio, that you wrong, look you restore. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo. I have confessed her, and I know her virtue. Thanks, good friend Aeschylus, for thy much goodness. There is more behind that is more gratulate. Thanks, Provost, for your care and secrecy. We shall employ thee in a better place. Forgive him, Angelo, who brought you home the head of Ragazine for Claudio. The offense pardons itself. Dear Isabel, I have a motion much imports your good, to which if you'll a willing ear incline, what's mine is yours, and what is yours is mine. So, bring us to our palace where we'll show what's yet behind that's meat you all should know.